hello. I didn't expect you to show up today. That's okay. I'm glad to have you here. Thank you for joining me. Today we are going to be doing a little bit of carving. And of course, since you are a beginner, we will be doing some soap carving. Here I have the bar of soap. It is a Olay bar of soap. Please use my coupon code for 0.1% off of your next purchase. And this bar of soap is actually specially designed, accidentally of course, but it is very, very good at some carving. The items we will be using, of course, following the theme of you being a beginner, will be tools you can find lying around your house. The first item, of course, will be a generic little pocket knife. We can open it up to see it's not specialized in any way. I'm sorry, my old age gives me some very shaky hands. But as you can see, just a generic blade that we can sharpen later, of course. And it should be able to do the trick for us today. The next item is something you probably have. This is a box cutter, but an X-Acto knife, or really any thin, sharp blade should do. And I could swear I had another. There you go. Here it is. It is a little filing tool. Now, you can use it. Well, I'll show you its various applications and techniques that can be used to wither away at the bar of soap. But its various angles should help out in this lesson today. Now, let's begin by unpacking the bar of soap. It's very important that you do it delicately, as to not damage the delicate bar of soap inside. Have a little bit, does not want to open. So we can use the knife for a little bit of assistance. Now, as you can see, I was very serious when I said this bar of soap was specially designed for practicing carvers. It's very easy to hold and already comes with some very nice curves. And so we can begin with our little pocket knife. Let me test. Yes, as you can see, definitely is a very dull knife, so we can use this tool here that you also will most likely find lying around your house, and that would be a knife sharpener. Now, everybody has their own technique. Mine, of course, I learned from many, many generations, where you rotate between curving up to down. That way you get the sharpest blade possible. Gently carving up and down to remove any sharp, uneven edges. Okay, and now we can begin with the carving. I like to get a feel for the bar of soap, see what we're working with, see how much play it has, maybe brush off any parts or pieces right off the bat before we even start carving. And there you go. Now, the key to carving, always, depending on where you're trying to carve and how you're trying to carve, typically you want to anchor the knife with a finger, or in this case, a thumb. This gives you more control over the depth and the angle of each carve. And when you're starting off, you're really still just getting a feel for the bar of soap. Long, smooth strokes, like you're trying to figure out what the bar of soap itself would like to become. Very delicately, I know for sure I want to remove all of these little bubbled edges that were possibly made during the production of the bar of soap, the way their moldings work. Could have left this little rivet in the middle, almost like two different bodies colliding together, like water and land. You can just keep carving delicately. You don't want to go too deep right now, because the item you're trying to carve, it's somewhere in here. you just gotta keep carving until it reveals itself. Now, it doesn't matter how long it takes. All that matters is that you take your time. This is a game of patience. We have nowhere to be. We're just here to carve into the bar of soap. Long, smooth strokes. You want to remove any imperfections and see, just to use an opposing technique. Apart from most of the rounded edges we have worked on, once you start to get a feel for what you want, you can add some texture like that. Just nice little texture. This technique is used mainly for wildlife, like a bear. A big, thick cut can make look like its fur is matted a little bit, but of course, you keep carving the center of the bar of soap, or the belly side, is proving to be a little bit trickier. So you just have to figure out your own way. There's techniques to follow, and then at times you just have to do what feels right. Just whatever's easier, whatever makes sense. That way you can just carve your way, nice, smooth, relaxing carves. You still shouldn't worry about exactly what you're aiming to do, as long as you're going delicately enough and not removing too much at a time. You can be confident in knowing that it will reveal itself without a doubt. Nice, long, smooth strokes. See that texture? See that texture there? That's exactly what you want to get a feel for. It creates itself. You just gotta listen to it. Nice, slow. You can't force it. You can't force the bar of soap to do anything. You can only suggest and guide it any which way. And if you feel resistance, listen to it. You don't always have to fight your way through every single little bit of resistance. Sometimes it can be a pleasant warning sign. Nice, delicate. So, just guiding the knife along. You don't want to stress it out too much. Just let the knife ride. See, I can feel this logo doesn't want to be on here. Nice and delicate. You can just shave it all off. But you can't rush it. You don't want to make any odd curves or dents. Just very, very delicate carving. See, on the letters, they can add a little bit more resistance. You just gotta respect it. You know, not a little bit, and apply pressure a different way. Now, the very thin blade you have can be used to make very deep cuts into the body of the soap. So I'm going to do that to the sides here, because that's what it's telling me to do. You know, you don't have to ask. You just gotta listen. Not everything is solved with words. Look at that. Just came right out. Came right out. And of course, you want to be very safe and delicate. Don't do anything silly. You're not the first one in this situation. Don't be silly. Listen to the bar of soap. Now, we created that dent, and we're just gonna clean it up. Clean up any irregularities, any problems as they arrive at your doorstep. Just clean them up. Clean them up one by one. One by one. Nice and slow and gentle. And sometimes when you try and make it better, you can actually make it worse. But that's okay, because that's life. As long as you keep trying and keep going, approaching it at different angles, learning from your mistakes, you can pass through any issue, any problem, and any mistake. Go widen that up a bit. There you go. It's nice and clean. Have a nice little rivet there now. And this is the very, very messy bit. We're gonna have to apply a whole whack load of TLC to this one. Still gentle, still delicate. You just gotta clean up the area. It's gonna need a lot of shaving, so don't forget about the environment. Don't forget about the spots around it. You need to give it a good base to work from. Give it a good starting point. That way it can fall into place much, much easier. There you go, see? That smooth transition. That's what you want. It's a bar of soap. It's a very, very smooth object. And when you're just figuring it out, keep it smooth. Keep it very, very smooth. want to force anything. You just want to ride it. Ride the curve. There you go. So you carve right into it. And with time, it will disappear. There you go. There you go. See that? Still got a long way to go. Of course, we got a long way to go. But that's the process. And you just gotta take it. Just gotta take the process. And keep going. See? There we shaved off a whole bunch. And it felt right. It felt right. It was still long and smooth. But it was all part of the plan. All part of the plan. Okay. Now that those nasty little bumps are out, we can fix these over here, because I'm really liking the very natural curve over here. You know, I want to keep working with that. So I'm just going to even it out, and then I'll show you what the bar of soap is telling me. We can even use a different tool for the upcoming stage. Well, a little bit too harsh. A little bit too harsh, but that's okay, that's okay. Just keep shaving. See, it's still nice and smooth. It's more rapid. See, evening out that edge. I just smooth a little bit by a little bit. There's no rush. Piece by piece. All the soap is shaved away. Oh, look at that. What a happy mistake. There you go. Now, just keep going. Just keep shaving and shaving, rounding it all out, taking it back to its natural little state. You know, you tried one thing, didn't work out. It's okay. Try a different thing, you know? You made a mistake. You just accept it, learn from it, and keep moving forward. There you go. Simple as that. Look at that texture. Soap, although so soft, can be molded into such a rigid object. And I thought I was done evening it all out, but it was a little bit more that had to be done to give us a good base to work with. There you go. One side down. Now just gotta do the same to the other side. So many sides. So much things. So many things to carve. Just keep carving. Just keep carving. There you go. There you go. Let's see how we can the other side. Look at all that. Look at all of that. See how close I'm holding the knife to the soap. It's at such an angle, it's pretty much flush with the bar of soap. That way I can get very, very gentle and smooth cuts. Look at that, it's like rowing. Just up and down, up and down, up and down. Nice and smooth. And because the knife is at such a tiny angle, you can just keep running up and down without having to be worried that you're going to damage it. This way, once you have the general shape that you want, you can really begin to even it all out with this knock knock. Oh, no. Look at that. There you go. I was actually saving this technique for later, because as you can see, it's a little bit too effective, and it can be almost a cheap way to carve. You know, it definitely is good for rounding out certain curves, but you don't want to misuse it. So there you go. Yes, straightening it all out. It's like ironing, but without the heat. It's nice and relaxing. Ironing out the soap. There you go. Now we have completely repaired this side. What the bar of soap is telling me is this. You see it all. It's got these beveled edges on the sides. I now want to make the center portion concave and just drop that all in. So I'm going to use this little file, but it has a little saber tooth on the very end, so that should really help with creating this valley in the soap. Just want to get a general outline first. Boom. And then we can work with that guide and keep shaving and shaving and shaving away. There you go. Deeper and deeper, but still nice and gentle. Now that I have the depth that I like, I'm going to use the edge of it to just begin running down all of the edges, you see, just like this. a little bit more difficult when trying to show you. That's okay. Just, it's necessary. No worries. Just carve and carve and carve. As you can see, we don't need any fancy sharp tools to carve out the soap. Even this clearly multi-purpose tool that is quite dull can still shave away the soap very, very well. It is all you really need. Nice, still gentle, smooth strokes. Just outlining how far you want to go, and then working with it from there. And shaving and evening and bringing it all together. Piece by piece. I don't want to force anything. Just keep carving and carving and carving. Now, it's looking pretty good. Just rounding out some of the edges. Those can be the most difficult, but as with anything, if you take your time, you can do it. It's all it takes. Time. How you apply it. How much you are willing to apply dictates the outcome of any situation. There you go. Just hollowing it out. There's always room to improve. I could keep carving this bar of soap for years. This singular bar of soap. It would never be perfect. But that's okay. Because that's the beauty of how imperfect everything can be. There you go. There you go. That is the little valley we created inside the bar of soap. Now to polish off the edges, we can just use our finger. Don't need any special tools. Just a finger will do. Slowly and gently shaving off and polishing what we just created. And there you go. Can you believe it? We created nothing. As you may have noticed, I'm not a professional carver, nor an instructor, but I hope this video was boring enough for you, and maybe next time, with enough practice, we can actually carve something interesting. But for now, all we get is this, and some very, very waxy hands. But yeah, that was it. That was fun. I'm realizing now that this intro is very unnecessary. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one, and I hope you enjoyed. Take it easy.